This is the Hard Mark Podcast, starring Eric Donaldson and Ryan Murphy. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 6, the number of the beast of the Hard Mark Podcast. So much cream, hot audio cream coming at you, inserting in your ear holes. My name is Eric Donaldson, and guess who's with me? It's the same guy who's been with me for the previous 5 episodes. His name is Ryan Murphy. You might also know him as the man of 1,000 compliments. You might also know him as the soul skater. How's it going, Ryan?
Last time we hung out, you said I didn't accept your compliment very well. So
yes, but apparently you get a lot.
I do.
So you'll notice that your nickname is not the man of 1,000 compliments, and he accepts them well. You just receive a lot of compliments.
We'll leave it at that. Thank you. Yeah.
But you're doing well?
Yeah.
Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. It's been a little while since we've sat down again. Not that the audience would know, but we know.
It has been.
A little battery recharge. We're back. We're enjoying a night. How is that beer? I didn't even get a chance to
It is good.
Is it?
It's what I thought it would be.
Interesting.
It's little hint of peach. Nothing overwhelming. It's an IPA.
It's peach IPA.
Yeah.
From Red Hook.
It's good.
Okay.
It's good, strong, decent,
I got one more left. I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah.
That looks delish. Mm-hmm. Let's get the plugs out of the way right off the bat before I forget. Guess where we are? Facebook. Guess where we also are?
Are you plugging Facebook?
Twitter. They need the advertisement. They're struggling without us. There's Mr. Zuckerberg's in the hot water that he's known as. I think also, I don't want to put this out in the ether without committing to it, but I'm pretty sure that by the time people are listening to this, we will probably have some sort of presence on YouTube. So if anyone likes, listening to podcasts in a YouTube format, maybe you're unfamiliar or uncomfortable with Podbean or anything like that.
What goes over that as like
the video?
The visual, yeah, the video.
Whatever I make it as the visual. Yeah. A lot of times they'll just, how, you remember Winamp, the old like audio software that you...
Yeah.
Remember how it just do like design,
is that
the audio...
That's what I thought.
Representation. Whatever you make, you'd have to like create that. I don't think YouTube has a set format of...
I'm surprised. You would think they would.
Maybe they do. I don't know. We'll find out. But again, by the time I think people are listening to this, we'll have that presence. So at the moment, I haven't really delved into it. But I'm very happy that you took the time to download or stream, or maybe you're just a spouse or significant other sitting in the car with someone who's listening to this, or maybe you're in 2030 in the future.
Still listening.
Maybe you have a neural implant in your brain.
Top comment 2030.
Maybe you're one of those things. Regardless of which one of those things you are, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to Ryan and myself talk about grappling and, whatever else happens to come across our mind. So right off the bat here, Ryan, very exciting news. Are you excited?
Very excited.
Good, as you should be. I am also excited because now we finally, for the first time ever, we have feedback from the listeners, from our adoring public. We have feedback that they have given us. A couple things that I've heard, and I wanted to just kind of right off the bat here address it with you, if that's okay.
Please.
Yeah. Okay, so in our last episode 5, it was Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow. We were talking about the X Games, the world of extreme sports, things of that nature, and you were sort of listing off various extreme sports icons over the years, your Ryan Nyquist, etc. One of the names that you mentioned, Ryan, was a gentleman by the name of Dave Mira. I may have made a joke about pegging about Dave Mira.
Dave Mira?
I just wanted to set the record straight. I did not know that Dave Mira had since passed away. Apparently he has not been alive since 2016. So my bad. I didn't realize that was a thing. But thank you to the Hard Mark listenership for passing that information along. You seem stunned.
Yeah, I also was not aware that Dave Mira had passed away.
2016. So he's no longer been with us for the past 4 years or so.
That's not funny. Yeah, you just
it's not funny. And had I realized that was the case, Ryan Murphy, who brought up his name, I probably wouldn't have made a pegging joke. But did it
have to do with pegs on a bike? Was that
his death?
No, the pegging joke. Is that where it came from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't recall the
joke. It was a BMX.
Yeah. So it fit.
Exactly. Yeah. It wasn't just, talking about pegging for the sake of pegging. It was this related to the topic at hand. But I just want to clarify that in case anybody was like, wow, what an asshole. I didn't know he wasn't alive anymore. And I wouldn't have.
Well, damn.
I wouldn't have called him out.
This on me, like.
Sorry. But I thought it was important to, a lot of newspapers have their corrections and retractions bit. So this is the equivalent of that here at Hard Mark episode 6. So that is one thing.
Okay.
There's a second thing. So that's kind of more on me. I'll accept that, even though you maybe should have fact checked before you just started dropping down names. The other thing is related to you, Ryan, and I wanted to get your opinion about this before we get too far into our episode here today. So one of our fine listeners, I'm not going to name drop anybody for fear of reprisal, for fear of what you may do in retaliation to this person. But regarding our episode 4, Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler, I did post a quick social media clip on both our Facebook and our Instagram. If you're not following us on either of those channels, I would highly encourage you to do so. But I did post a short little video clip of Andy Kaufman basically challenging Jerry Lawler. It was the same one that you and I watched where he was talking about Memphis, Tennessee, Jerry Lawler. And in fact, let me just, I don't want to do any injustice here. I want to make sure that I'm correctly phrasing this. Bear with me for one moment. So on our Instagram, one of our, again, fantastic listeners, thank you so much for checking us out. But one of our listeners pointed out that Andy Kaufman in that clip looks like a young Ryan Murphy. Your response?
If you're not going to mention who this was.
I don't want any fear of reprisal. I don't want you to start calling people out, but they said, quote, looks like a young Ryan Murphy. This is Andy Kaufman in this clip. Again, you can go to our Instagram or our Facebook channels if you're curious to see it. Young Ryan Murphy.
Yikes. How old is he in that clip?
That's probably a little bit older than you. If I had to take a guess.
Still just about in my 20s, so
that's true. But yeah, go on. Say whatever you're thinking in regards to that.
I have no issue with that. I have no issue with the comment. I'm just curious as to who said it now. Now I'm gonna have to try to go back and a young Ryan Murphy. Someone has to have known, like.
Well, I've posted some pictures of us together. People have a reference point for what you look like.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's familiar with you intimately.
That clip specifically is what they're referring to. Was it young Ryan Murphy?
It was responding to that video. Yeah.
Okay. It was one of my favorite matches of all time. So,
this is true.
Yeah. I have no bad blood, I guess, that.
And that's all.
Good looking guy.
Yeah, a very talented guy, very good looking guy.
But I'm still just curious.
Maybe a little bit more chest hair than you got going. Okay. But maybe if you squint, I could see the resemblance. Before we get into our topic for today, which is the immortal Hulk Hogan versus I'm going to try and do the impression. The Macho Man, Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Before we get into that, I know that you actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this came up organically. You had I always call it a wrestle talk. You had a wrestling conversation recently.
A wrestle talk
with folks. I'm going to try my best to not just shit all over what they said, but you gave me a little bit of insight into what they were talking about. And I was immediately like, well, that wouldn't work. But to the best of your knowledge, just replicate what it is that they were discussing during this conversation. So let me clear you. You need help?
Yeah.
So they were talking about the Attitude Era.
Thank you.
And just for my knowledge, did this come up because you mentioned that you were doing a podcast, or this just completely organic?
We were watching. I think it was like MMA or something, like a fighter, and he brought up the Attitude or PC Era, whatever it is now.
Okay, sure. PG. You're right.
PC.
PC?
Yeah.
Wait, did somebody say that?
No.
You're saying that.
I am. It was, but no. Okay. But let me get back. Let me check back on. it was the Attitude Era that he brought up, and it was back as opposed to today's wrestling. And comparing and contrasting would be more difficult for me today as opposed to back in the
because you're 3 out of 10.
Yeah, not doing well. But it was, I think it had, I think it probably had to do a little bit with the fan base, like at the time. And
so they were saying that wrestling used to be better. That was the gist of what they were getting at, correct?
I think they were saying it was a little more, I don't know if it was better. It just used to be a little more raw. Like people, the wrestlers could maybe come out there and say things a little bit differently than they say things now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how racist this was getting. I don't know. I don't know where.
Was there a racist tinge to this conversation?
Not totally, but I get that.
What do you mean not totally?
I just think that some people don't like this filtered concept of anything on TV, and you have to watch what you say, and you could be for maybe. And I don't know if that's where it was going. I wouldn't expect it from the guy I was talking to.
How old is this person?
26, 27.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Not much, and also Hispanic. Okay. So not someone who's gonna just to put. I don't know. I think there is some people who are a little bit especially with WWE supposed to be so kind of out there.
Sure.
So it just got brought up that as opposed to this new era of WWE,
mm-hmm.
he was, I think, more so the TNT back in the early 90s, TNT, TBS, Attitude Era. And I didn't know what that meant. So I immediately reached out to you.
You did.
And you didn't really tell me anything. You're like,
well, yeah, because that's absolutely a conversation we needed to say for the podcast. And here we are. So now we can delve right into it. Not that our topic today really is of that era.
That's fine.
For the record. But, so the Attitude Era is what they refer to as that late 90s period. Generally speaking, the Attitude Era started around 1997, and then it probably ended around 2001. So it was about a 4-year period, but it was also their most popular period. So they were able to get away with a lot. There was probably not racist things that were happening.
Was it more so in the ring they were able to get away with a lot, or was it more so outside, kind of the shenanigans that go on pre-match and
mainly shenanigans? I mean, in the ring, it wasn't especially violent, especially on TV. Maybe during pay-per-views it'd be a little bit more violent, but not they weren't carving each other up with razor blades or anything like that. But there was a lot of sexual content back then where
maybe I shouldn't say racist, maybe it's just sexual content is where they were going. I don't know.
Either way. But yeah, no, so nowadays the women wrestlers are treated more or less the same as the men wrestlers are. They have they'll fight each other, they have storylines, and it's really just kind of, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here, but it's the same sort of format just with the women. Back then, women's programming, featuring the girls, that was really just maybe one segment out of the show. And generally speaking, it was a lot of mud wrestling and bikini contests and so a real match that they used to have back in the late 90s a lot was called a bra and panties match. So the premise of a bra and panties match,
I wonder what this,
I know it could be anything, but the premise was that you would have to strip your opponent down to their bra and panties, and if you did so, then you were the winner and you won the match. And there's a lot of thongs and upskirts and just shit like that. That is a lot of what the Attitude Era was. Granted, there was also a little bit more cursing. D-Generation X was a popular faction. I'm sure eventually we'll get around to watching some of their stuff. They were big into the crotch chops, so they would, chop at their crotch and say, suck it. That's probably not something you can get away with nowadays. But yeah, it was just generally, it was more risque content, kind of push the envelope for what you could get away with on TV.
Yeah, I do think there's probably a market of people out there who miss that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. This guy was younger, so I don't know. Late 90s was a fun time to be and watch a good wrestling match like that.
Mm-hmm. I was super into wrestling back then. I will say, looking back on it now, the wrestling was real bad. Generally speaking, not all of it, but the wrestling as a whole was not nearly as good as it is now. And from a financial aspect. So, and this is something that we've even talked about on the podcast before, where for a lot of people, when you say wrestling, they think WWE. Like, that's the brand. That's the Kleenex of wrestling. And so when WWE was really, really pushing the envelope and making things very sexual, and there was a lot of vulgar content, people didn't just think, oh, that's what WWE does. They think, oh, that's wrestling. And so then it hurts the entire industry, because then sponsors don't want to pay money for commercials on your air. Overall, it did hurt them, and they had to pull back because they were losing those sponsorships. So,
but do you see the fan base who's attending some of these matches?
I see them on a fairly regular basis, yes. But like, they did get a lot of those sponsors back. Like, they've gotten M&M Mars back, and they've gotten a lot of other, like, they've built themselves back up as a semi-family friendly brand again. But for a while, that was not the case, and like, they were on the verge of
I totally get that.
Chasing sponsors away. So like, while there were elements to it that were more fun, it wasn't sustainable, and it's a good thing just overall that they stopped doing that.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. I thought wrestling just kind of migrated through probably that phase, I guess, totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially in that time. I think probably it may not have only been wrestling. There's probably a lot of things that were...
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, late 90s.
Not PC,
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, for me, growing up with wrestling, in the 80s, when I was just a little kid, you had Hulk Hogan, who was targeted specifically towards like that little kid demographic. As I got older and I was becoming a teenager, then you have the Attitude Era, which has a whole bunch of sexual content and dudes flipping the bird and all sorts of stuff like that. So like, at every sort of stage of my life up until now, it's been like, hey, wrestling's geared right towards me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was brought up because of the lack of sexual content. Now that you mention that makes more sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't age well.
Yeah.
From that standpoint, like, there was a bit where Vince McMahon had a woman take her clothes off, and again, bra and panties, and then he had her like bark like
her to take
ordered her to take her clothes off, and then ordered her to bark like a dog. And like, granted, he was the bad guy in this situation, but like, still, you can't really get away with that.
Yeah,
at all.
Probably be tough back then. But that's. But that's a clear. I almost want to bring that back.
I mean,
just kind of discuss a little bit more. And
if you find the opportunity, I'd be curious to hear what they say.
That makes sense.
But as far as our main topic for today, we are not talking about the Attitude Era. We are actually going to be talking about the very tail end of the 80s, 1989 to be specific. The match that we're going to be watching is from WrestleMania 5. The main event of WrestleMania 5, Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage. All right, so I know we've watched one Hulk Hogan match in the past, but like, that was our very first episode. We were kind of getting your feet wet in regards to like what professional wrestling is. We were really just kind of answering a lot of questions about wrestling in general, and not kind of specifically talking about Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant in that situation. And I think one thing, and actually this was made very clearly apparent to me recently, I did just celebrate a birthday. A significant portion of people who were wishing me well and birthday wishes sent me pictures of Hulk Hogan. Like, a very significant number of people. So it became painfully obvious to me that I am linked together, for better or for worse, with Hulk Hogan.
Not me.
But not you.
Not me.
You're the only person who sent me a pro wrestling oriented message for my birthday that was not Hulk Hogan. Nice little deep dive into Andy Kaufman, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
But I did want to sort of clear the air. Hulk Hogan is, and will probably for the remainder of his life, be a bit of a controversial figure. So I think we should probably start by addressing that. So,
is this new?
It's not brand new.
Okay.
This has been going on for a few years. So Hulk Hogan was like my hero as a kid. Like, I fucking loved Hulk Hogan.
From what age did you like idolize him as like an athlete?
For sure, by the time I was 6.
Okay.
Maybe earlier than that, but I have very clear memories as a 6-year-old kid with like a WWF magazine flipping through the page and like, oh, it's fucking Hulk Hogan. So for sure at that point in time, perhaps sooner.
Not Ken Griffey Jr.
Well, this would have predated Ken Griffey.
You were 6.
I was 6, so this would have been 89, which is the same time of this match.
20, yeah, okay, all right, fair, yeah. No,
Griffey, I think,
right.
didn't show up for a few years.
I'm just, yeah, okay, so this was your guy, though. This was your go-to athlete, like...
Was Griffey it for you? Was Griffey your guy?
I was probably more of an A-Rod.
It's even worse. Of course you would be.
I even have a Griffey jersey, but like, yeah. Anyway,
you were a huge A-Rod fan.
I was a big A-Rod fan. Even
surprised not Tim Duncan.
I had an A-Rod book.
An A-Rod book, like an autobiography, or a?
Yeah, I think it was an autobiography. Actually, I think he wrote it. Yeah. Well, I wasn't great, but I have it somewhere. Yeah.
Well, give it a reread. Maybe it's gotten better with age. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hulk Hogan, super like, and I can say like as a kid looking back on it, the things that he would talk about were good things for a little kid to sort of adopt as like being their mantra, the training, the prayers, the vitamins, believing in yourself, Hulkamania, brother. Like these were good things that I thought benefited me at that time. Now years since then, do you remember the reality show Hogan Knows Best?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
I remember I watched a couple episodes and I was like, I wish I wouldn't have watched that.
It's just another reality TV show to me. Like,
sure it is.
Yeah.
But like, imagine.
No, exactly.
And this isn't a 1-to-1 ratio here, but imagine Alex Rodriguez having a reality show, and then it just tears like the fabric of your childhood apart.
Oh, don't worry, I already had that with Alex Rodriguez.
So, was that before or after he started dating Madonna?
That was well before when he left the Mariners and went to the Rangers. But yes, and
you were still just a tender young pup at that point in time.
I was like 11.
Sorry you had to go through that.
Thank you. But I get it. I remember watching that show and thinking nothing of it. It was just, there was a lot of reality TV shows at the time.
Yeah.
But I could see how it'd tear you apart.
I mean, it was just kind of disappointing to see like a childhood idol.
It was like family stuff. Like it was. Like,
yeah, it was just kind of like just stupid people and like, what are you doing? Like this is just bad. And like I just made the decision like, okay, I'm just not going to watch this. This is dumb.
When did it start? It was like 2005.
Something maybe even before that. I don't really remember. Early to mid 2000s probably though.
Yeah.
So like that happened, and then I was like, whatever. I did get I have actually met Hulk Hogan in person.
Oh.
At the Third Place Books
signing.
Book signing. That's
you
right.
have his book too?
I do. I have his autograph. I have 2 of his books, actually. That's right. That's how big of a Hulk fan I am. I met him, which was great. He was super, super great with me. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about my interaction with him. I even got I got a great photo out of it. It was fantastic. I got a smile out of him from the shirt I was wearing, which was from his first role as a leading man in a major motion picture, No Holds Barred, which we'll talk more about No Holds Barred later. So I got a chance to meet him, super nice with me, but then the whole sex tape thing happened. So I'm assuming you don't know about this.
I know. I don't. A whole
somehow
sex tape.
I don't know if your head has just been in the sand for that long.
When did it happen?
A couple years ago. 5 or 6.
I know there's been like controversy around like him breaking up with his wife and his not him breaking up with his daughter, but like, his daughter I feel like has been like, was it Brooke?
Yeah. And his son got in a car wreck.
Yeah. I know there's been like controversy surrounding the family, but I didn't know it was around a sex tape. That would be a crazy sex tape the
sex tape thing happened afterwards. So here's the thing about the sex tape. Hulk Hogan was friends with some radio shock jock down in Florida named Bubba the Love Sponge.
That sounds exactly like somebody you'd hang out with. Hulk Hogan, Bubba the Love Sponge, yeah.
So, and this was post-divorce, so this wasn't something that like led to the divorce or anything like that. Apparently, Bubba would allow, if not just Hulk Hogan, then maybe other people too, but for sure Hulk Hogan, the, let's say, use of his wife.
Oh.
Now, to add another wrinkle on top of this, Bubba had a camera in his room, and Hulk was not aware of the camera being there.
Was it the use of his wife contingent on like the camera being? Is that a thing? I mean, that seems like it was.
It could be, but I don't think that it was. I think Hulk has maintained that he did not know he was being filmed, and I've seen little clips, which I wouldn't recommend reaching out to find, but having seen little clips and also hearing reading through the audio transcription, it's not what if you knew you were being filmed, it's not what you would have done. He was apologizing to her at the end just because he was so fat and out of shape.
What was the sex tape transcript? Like, how does that read?
It was more of a transcript. It's not of the coitus.
Oh, no.
You see, they transcribed the post-coitus conversation. He was like apologizing to her for being fat and like all this other stuff. And it's like
sweating too much on her.
It's something like that. But yeah, it's not the type of thing that if you knew you were being filmed, like you would have brought your A game. You'd be like fucking strutting around. Like, I don't think he knew he was being filmed. Now, as part of this, some of the other stuff that came out as a result of this sex tape leak, I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe as part of this tape that they had, it also had a bit of phone conversation that he was having with somebody else, where he dropped a lot of N-words and basically said that since Brooke was apparently dating a black guy, and he was mad that the guy like wasn't rich, and called him an N-word a couple times and admitted to being racist. He said, like, Eric, of course I'm racist. Effing ends. Like, I
bet he has black friends. All right. I bet he has black friends that he can fall back on here. So
that's a good point.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I had not heard that.
So it's like, I think with all that, like you can't just kind of disregard the fact that those things happen. But basically what I'm getting at here is I don't want to throw that under the rug and be like, oh, well, because I like Hulk Hogan, I don't care about these things and they don't matter. But I think from the context of talking about this is what happens in wrestling, like you can't ignore Hulk Hogan and like what he did for wrestling. So like I'm acknowledging it. He's kind of a piece of shit, but from the framework of like, I was a 6-year-old kid, I think that's kind of the context that we have to look at the match here today. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case anyone was like, hey, how come Eric didn't talk about Hulk Hogan being a racist during episode 1? There was a lot of other meat on the bone that we needed to cover during that. But
that's super interesting. I had not even heard. I'm surprised. The
video's out there.
Yeah. Apparently, on like Reddit or something, like when especially if it's on video and there's like people love watching footage.
Well, I know how you love documentaries. He sued Gawker Media and like bankrupted them, and he was being bankrolled by a super rich guy who had an agenda. There's documentaries about this. What they did was kind of shitty, but again, that's kind of also what led to Hulk being outed as a big time racist. So. Did a lot of intrigue and shenanigans going on there. But moving along. Macho Man Randy Savage. I don't know if we had this conversation on or off air last time, but you're familiar with him. You know who this is, somewhat.
I absolutely know the name.
Okay.
I don't know like a lot about like his wrestling career.
Well, that's. I mean,
he's a pretty prestigious name, and
he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And like, he's one of those guys where regardless of what criteria you're using, he's one of the top acts of all time in the history of wrestling. Fantastic talker, great in the ring. Just like from every standpoint, he had all the tools. And this will appeal to you, former baseball player.
Former baseball
player. Yeah, in the minors. He never quite made it up to the majors, but he was a minor.
Jordan was also in the minors.
That's true. Good company overall.
Yeah, absolutely. Was he a big guy? In the minors, like when he was playing baseball, was he
like physically,
like arms wise, like bulky, like Barry Bonds, like type?
No, he put on. By 1989 pro wrestling standards, Macho Man Randy Savage was not big. Okay. He was probably on the smaller side, like especially if you're looking at him and Hulk Hogan side by side and be like, that fucking guy's tiny. But also Hulk was like 6'6", 6'7", like a legit 280, 290 pounds. So no, I've seen pictures of him as a baseball player. In fact, I
just assume any baseball player who like has a baseball or wrestler who has a baseball jersey on would just rip that jersey apart.
I mean, it's hard to tell based off of this solely. Like that's him.
Good looking guy.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Face for baseball.
He does.
Yeah, so that's
a picture of that on the podcast, on the YouTube.
Okay, yeah, I can make that happen. But yeah, as a wrestler, I mean, he's very young in this picture, but that's him as a wrestler.
But do you see what I mean? Like, he should be ripping out of. Like,
he should be.
Yeah,
but
baseball.
I think the weight training happened post baseball career, to my knowledge.
Okay.
But Randy Savage is a fucking character. So he's deceased. He's no longer with us. Shocking, I know that there'd be a wrestler who wouldn't be alive anymore.
Do we know what happened?
We do. So Macho Man had a heart attack. This just happened, within the past 10 years, so relatively recently. But he had a heart attack while he was driving, and he veered into a tree. And I don't know if it was the heart attack that got him or the car accident or what happened, but it was the combination of those things, and then he passed away.
Steroids, was it cocaine?
I think it was residual effects from those things. Yeah. I don't think because he was a pretty old guy and he had long since retired when all this happened. So he wasn't, to my knowledge anyway, actively participating in those, but it's probably not a long shot that he was earlier in his life. His character, as fucking outlandish as his character was not that far off from the real guy, which is insane to think about because the character was fucking eccentric and paranoid and just on edge all the time. And just from every story that's out there about Randy Savage, that was him. So his wife was actually his manager throughout the 80s. So you've seen some managers in wrestling at this point in time. Usually their whole job is to provide distractions and fuck with the baby face and that sort of thing.
Hit him with canes.
Hit him with canes. Yeah. Dressed like Southern sharecroppers, et cetera, et cetera. So his wife was his manager. Her name was Miss Elizabeth. It wasn't ever said on air that they were married. To you as the audience member, it was just okay, they for sure have a business relationship. They might be together, but there was no affection being shown. It was just him ordering her to do shit. So it was a very interesting dynamic in that he was always, for a good chunk of his career, at least in the 80s, he was always a bad guy. And while she was his manager, she was just kind of this quiet. Yeah. She never interfered, which was a unique dynamic to have. So
for a manager.
For a manager and for their act, because you were always kind of sympathetic to her, and it's clear that she was just kind of getting bullied around by Macho Man Randy Savage. So, but yeah, he would get fucking furious if people would touch her or do anything around Elizabeth, to the point where he would order her to just stay in the locker room and not interact with people. You'll notice whenever she comes down to the ring, she has a shitload of security around her because Randy insisted that no.
Is that a real thing or is that a character thing?
Both.
Because you said they didn't diverge too far each other.
No, he hated the idea of anyone touching.
So was he really kind of a piece of shit to her, or is that kind of a character thing more so than?
I mean, they were married for a decade. Not that means that he wasn't a piece of shit to her. But it's complicated. They eventually would divorce, but they stayed close and he got her jobs places. So to say oh, he's a piece of shit, I don't know. It was definitely, I think he was controlling, excessively so at times. But at the same time, he always looked out for her, and I think he cared for her in a weird sort of way.
It's
it's hard to paint their relationship with any one particular brush. But there's a show called Dark Side of the Ring that Vice has on their TV network. They did an episode about Macho Man and Elizabeth. So if anyone's curious to know more, I would recommend checking it out. And it kind of goes into detail around their relationship and kind of what led to their divorce and everything. So the last Hulk Hogan match that we saw was WrestleMania 3. And that was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. We've talked about what WrestleMania is, right? You understand that?
I know.
It's basically a once-a-year event.
Broke a record at Safeco Field.
It did. That's right. Yeah. That still stands to this day.
That is just...
Suck it, Alex Rodriguez. Not one thing you could... Was he gone by the time Safeco was around? I don't even remember.
No, he was still there.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So my suck it still stands.
It does, yeah.
Good. So what match we're going to be watching today is the main event of WrestleMania 5. So this was 2 years after what we just saw. So since the time that Hulk Hogan successfully defended the championship against Andre the Giant, let's catch you up to speed to what's happened. So WrestleMania 3 happened, Hulk Hogan won. Him and Andre are still kind of feuding throughout the remainder of 1987. On into 1988, the feud's kind of continuing, but in that time, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man who had been longtime enemies, had sort of formed an alliance together, and they called themselves the Mega Powers, which was an unlikely formation that then became a very strong force in the World Wrestling Federation. Now, leading up to WrestleMania 4, Andre the Giant actually beat Hulk Hogan for the WWF title, ending his multiple-year reign as the WWF champion. So leading into WrestleMania 4, they had a tournament to figure out who the new champion was because Andre the Giant did some nefarious chicanery. He tried to sell the WWF championship to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
What does that mean?
He tried to sell it?
Yeah.
So basically, the short answer is the $1 Million Man was paying Andre the Giant to win the title from Hulk Hogan and then immediately give it to him. Like, relinquish the title to me. Okay. Was the idea. So he was in the corner. He was like basically managing Andre with the intention of, hey, as soon as you win, you're giving me the belt. So that was the idea. And they paid off a referee. The referee was on the take. Andre wins the title and then immediately gets on the microphone and says that he's giving, and he fucked up because he's, not a native English speaker. He said, I'm giving away the tag team championships to Ted DiBiase. So that happened. They have a big tournament at WrestleMania 4. Macho Man Randy Savage wins the tournament. And so now he's the new WWF champion. And then over the course of the year, of the next year, he and Hulk Hogan are kind of forming a team. They're fighting off Andre and Ted DiBiase. But then you can kind of start to see that there's some tension bubbling just beneath the surface, all centered around Miss Elizabeth. So Macho Man's starting to get more and more paranoid. He's noticing things. And like this storyline between Hulk Hogan and Macho Man went on for and this is just leading to the match that we're going to watch, a year and a half.
So Macho Man is a bad guy at this point still.
At which point? Were there teaming?
Kind of leading up to this, right? He's going to face Hulk Hogan, who's like the...
So what happened? So Macho Man was a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then he and Hulk Hogan form a team together and he becomes a good guy. Now he's partners with Hulk Hogan. They're the Mega Powers. They're friends. Macho Man wins the championship, still a good guy. But then as they're kind of teaming up together, that's when you can kind of start to see cracks in the foundation. So like
there's so much going on.
There's so like literally a year and a fucking half of a well done story. And like everything made sense. Like why? And we're not going to be able to watch everything leading up to this match. I wish we fucking could. We could just have a sleepover party.
You just got to experience it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we will watch some of the stuff leading up to it. It was just so well done because like you knew watching through all this stuff, oh, Randy Savage is just kind of like a piece of shit and he's paranoid. But I can see where he's coming from. Like there'd be little kernels of truth into everything that he was doing. He was just getting so worked up.
About Hulk Hogan?
Yes.
Okay.
So like he would claim that Hulk Hogan was like a glory hawk. So like Hulk Hogan was helping Macho Man out if he was getting double teamed. But then Hulk Hogan would like pose and do the Hulk Hogan shit. And you'd see Macho Man just be like, what the fuck are you doing? And so it's like, he's not correct in like betraying Hulk Hogan, but I see where he's coming from. And that's what you need to have in pro wrestling.
I feel like wrestling is just like one kind of long, beautiful like story. But
it is a long, beautiful story.
Like you said, just little cracks here and there.
Yeah.
That end up, like you wouldn't, it's wrestling, right? But no, there's like just this beautiful background story to it. And it just...
Yeah. Depending on where you are in the story, you're probably not even noticing it. But then when it's called back after the fact, that's when you're like, oh shit, yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see why you'd be pissed, even though he's like an asshole. For another example, right after WrestleMania 4, the next big pay-per-view event was SummerSlam. The match was Hulk Hogan and Macho Man versus Andre and Ted DiBiase. Their secret weapon to fight Andre the Giant, Ted DiBiase, was Miss Elizabeth wearing a bikini. So at a strategic point in the match...
What year was this?
88.
Oh, we haven't even entered the Attitude Era yet.
If you saw this, trust me, it's, like back at this point. Like,
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, no, pretty tame, all things. It was a one piece.
Okay.
But Andre and Ted DiBiase sold it as if like, holy shit, is that girl naked? Like their reaction was just insane. given what she was actually showing. But like,
so good.
She took off like this little slip that she had on, and she's wearing a one piece, and she's just standing on the apron, like not even like being sexy, just standing there.
Yeah.
And they're freaking out. Hulk Hogan and Macho Man come barreling in. They win the match. Macho Man picks up Elizabeth, and then, and this is one of the best parts of the whole angle, Hulk Hogan, to steady Elizabeth, gently puts his hand not on her butt, but right above, right at the waistline.
Mm-hmm.
And Macho Man, who didn't see that, saw the video after the fact. One of the cracks that broke the mega powers apart.
Yeah.
And it was things like that. And it just built.
This is good lead up. This is good. Yeah, no, this is important.
It's one of the best wrestling storylines of all time. Yeah. Like I say, Andy Kaufman,
leading
Jerry
up to
Lawler,
this particular match, though.
Yes, this is the culmination of this match. And of course, they had plenty of matches before this. Like I said, they were rivals. They wrestled a lot, but then they would wrestle again after this. Mm-hmm. But this was like,
and this is a big time match. Like a lot of people, I presumably watch this.
Yeah, WrestleMania is I mean, as we talked about, Safeco Field, it's a huge event.
Yeah,
I mean, WrestleMania
was on TV.
It was on pay-per-view.
Oh, it's pay-per-view.
WrestleMania is really kind of what spearheaded the pay-per-view industry.
Yeah,
boxing didn't do this. It was like Vince McMahon, for all of his faults, he did a shitload to establish pay-per-view in the United States. Yeah, this was a huge deal. And granted, pay-per-view had come a long way since then, but I'm pretty sure that for a long time, this was like the highest purchased pay-per-view for years and years and years was WrestleMania 5. And it's really because of Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan and their rivalry. So, very, very good. And it's kind of timely. Guess where the venue was for WrestleMania 5?
Where was it?
Trump Plaza.
Oh, okay.
What were you thinking?
No, I didn't know if it was going to be something like the Kingdom or like.
Oh no, nothing like that. But yeah, they had a lot of matches. I mean, they would wrestle for years after this, kind of off and on. Obviously not, but Macho Man is one of Hulk Hogan's biggest rivals throughout his career. I mean, you could point to him, Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant as kind of being Hulk's biggest rival.
Do people bet on this?
I think technically you can, but I never have.
No, but like, yeah, I mean, like you have boxing. I think there's a lot of betting, like, or even sports in general. I think as they legalize it slowly, but like, is wrestling, because it's not.
There is, but then also I remember, and I've never looked into this too far, but I remember that there was a betting pool, and somebody made a really, really, really big bet, like a suspiciously big bet. And it was more or less ascertained that that person knew what the result of the match was. Like they were inside the company.
That could be tricky, yeah.
And so then the betting odds changed immediately because the company picked up on it. But yeah, I don't know where you go for that, but I know it's possible.
Yeah, okay.
There's also a lot of like weird bets around some of the matches and stuff like that. But last thing I want to mention kind of around the whole Hulk versus Macho Man rivalry. So their feud would continue years and years and years later. And to the point where after Macho Man basically had retired as a professional wrestler, he would get into acting. If you remember the original Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, well, you remember that was a thing. He had a bit role in that. The speaking part, not huge, but he was the wrestler that fought against Spider-Man when he first got his powers. And that actually is what ended Macho Man's career for real. He had a neck injury filming that movie. Fun fact.
And the years of wrestling.
Not even the years of
wrestling. It was Hollywood production that actually was.
There was a bump that he took where he literally laid it on his head, and it made it into the final cut of that movie. If you ever watch Spider-Man again, watch the wrestling bit. There's a thing where he gets flipped into a turnbuckle, lands like back against the turnbuckle, just falls straight down on his head, and that's what fucked him up and ended his career.
Like, was it a head injury or a neck thing?
Neck
it
thing.
Was neck.
Yeah. But so after that, he put out a rap album, which for anyone who's never heard,
sounds like a fucking head injury. Like, okay, yeah.
If anyone's never heard the Macho Man rap album, it's phenomenal.
Did you show me one of these songs?
We listened to a little bit of the diss track.
Yeah. That was it. That was the one. Okay, yeah, now I recall. Yeah.
Which I actually wrote down the lyrics.
Are you going to rap them?
I don't know if I'm going to rap them. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I did write down the lyrics for anyone who's never heard the Macho Man Randy Savage. So this is the title track of the album Be a Man.
So good.
Here we go.
So good.
I'm just going to say it. I'm not feeling rappy at the moment.
You're going to eventually as it carries on.
I mean, if anyone's listening to this and would care to download it and splice it into the audio, you're welcome to. Hot diggity damn, Hulk. I'm glad you set it off. Used to be hard, Hulk. Now you done turned soft. Doing telephone commercials, I seen ya. Dancing in tights as a ballerina. I knew all along you had those tendencies, 'cause you've been running from Macho like I got a disease. Please, your pay-per-view event was a joke. You're avoiding Randy Savage, 'cause you know you'll get smoked. Come on, that phony fight, The Rock spanked you fast. But when I challenged Hogan to a real fight, he passed. I called him out, but the punk was scared to go. It was a charity event, but the Hulk didn't show. Hollywood Hulkster, you're at the end of your rope. And I'm going to kick you in the butt and wash your mouth out with soap. Because like Rodney Dangerfield, you gets no respect. So come on, Hulk, let's wreck so I can put you in check. Yes.
It just sounds like 48-year-old suburban, like, you know, like I don't know, like maybe from Kentucky, Tennessee. I don't know where he's from, but like it's the rap thing, but like the most basic.
The whole album that. Yeah.
I think you get into it. From what I heard, when you're not maybe giving as much justice as it needs.
But yeah, so their rivalry would go on for years. Supposedly they did manage to clear the air before Macho Man passed away. So that's a positive. But they for sure, like in real life, Macho Man blamed Hulk Hogan for the divorce with him and Elizabeth. So a very complex relationship.
When he picked her up?
No, like, so their real life divorce happened years after this. I think they divorced in real life in like 92 or 93. And Macho Man blamed Hulk Hogan. They had a huge falling out over it. Yeah. So interesting stuff. So to kind of put a bow on some things before we get down to brass tacks and watch this fucking thing, I did have a couple of fun little items that I would hope that we would run through. First, you familiar with Mad Libs? I have a Hulk Hogan Mad Lib that I wrote.
Nice.
And
you wrote it.
I wrote it. I'm going to ask you to fill in the blanks here. And
so you want me to remember what a verb and an adjective is?
Do you need a moment? Do you need to Google search?
Verb, action word, adjective describing, or I have those
correct? Correct. Yeah. You know what a noun is?
Yeah, person, place, or thing.
There we go. Yeah, I think you've got it. Is there anything else besides that? I kept it simple.
No, good. It's been a while since I've done, basic grammar.
Well, I think you've got all that you need to in this case.
Good. Okay.
All right. Are you ready to go through this Mad Lib?
So I'm picking the words.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to read you the prompt.
Okay.
And then you're just going to give me the word, and then I will read. What this is an actual Hulk Hogan promo, not for this match, but an actual Hulk Hogan promo.
Okay.
And I'm taking out certain words, and I'm going to replace them with your words. Throw out an adjective describing word.
Slippery.
All right, I like it already. Noun, affliction. Not the brand.
Say that one more time.
Noun, affliction.
What do you mean by affliction?
Like some.
With a noun, what do you mean?
Like so, not a person, not a place, but a thing and an affliction. So something that would be like a negative effect on your person.
It's way more difficult than.
No, it didn't. It's just, like. A flu or a broken leg.
Affliction. Okay, yeah.
Affliction. Okay.
Oh man, really threw me out for this one.
What was it? The affliction?
Yeah, it was the affliction.
I know how you love affliction shirts. I thought this would be right up your alley. I'm just going to keep drinking my beer over here until you think of a goddamn noun.
A bloody nose. I feel like it might be play too into it. Yeah, no.
I mean, I don't know, maybe, but we'll see. Verb.
Oh man, this is bad. This is a bad idea.
It's an action word.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slide. Ing.
I'll just say slide. That makes.
Does that work?
Yeah. It works. It's fine. Okay, you already gave me the adjective before. I'll just reuse that. Okay, this is going to be a big one. Verb.
Tripping.
Another verb.
Drooled.
I'll change it to drooling. So
yeah, whatever fits.
Yeah. Noun, edible.
Chicken strips.
Can I change that to chicken tendies?
Yeah, no, please, yeah.
Good. All right. Chicken tendies.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, please. I mean, if most places, if you try and order chicken strips, they're gonna instantly correct you and probably charge you another couple bucks. Okay, so we're towards the end. Noun.
I know what I gave this
Person, place,
yes,
thing.
I understand. I was just trying to think about it. Just any noun.
Any noun. I'm not giving you any limitations on this. It can be literally any noun.
Tennis ball.
Okay. I'm glad you spent 30 seconds thinking of tennis ball. Okay. There's only 3 more. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Adjective. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
There's 3 more.
Never mind. You're down to 2 because you already have the adjective. Never mind. Noun. Red thing.
Mountain Dew Code Red.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Okay. Yeah. Sure. One more.
Yeah, one more. Yeah. I just gotta make a quick formatting adjustment there. Okay, noun, blue thing, and this is it.
Blue was a hard one.
Part of me wants to leave all this fucking silence in, just to let people know how much you're struggling thinking of these.
Blue moon. So,
sure.
Yeah.
I like how for each of those you had to it was Mountain Dew Code Red and then Blue Moon. That's fine.
I looked at your bottle caps and
that's fair. Good with all those?
No, not good with any of them.
Well, unless you can think of something like in the next 5 seconds.
I don't want it. I just see how this
all right. As bad as my Macho Man is, I do it even worse Hulk. But I'll try and at least get in character for this. Mm-hmm. All right. Again, this is a real promo with some of the words swapped out.
Blue heron.
You actually want me to change it? I'll change it. No, change it. No. That's fine. I'll change it.
Yeah. No, you should. You should.
Are they actually blue? I guess they are. It's fine. You don't need to look it up. We're just spending enough time on this. Are you ready for me to read the thing?
Oh, no.
Is it?
Sort of.
Well, I thought you had it up.
They're kind of gray.
That's fine. We're going with that. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you know something, Slippery Gene. The genius may have a high IQ, brother, but I'm sure he's got a low tolerance for bloody noses. Besides, if he's so darn smart, how come he doesn't know that mathematically he can't slide, brother? What are you talking about? What do you mean? It's a simple equation, Slippery Gene. The 3 demandments of the tripping, the drooling, and the chicken tendies, plus the 24-inch pythons, times all those tennis ball maniacs, equals victory. Now, wait a minute, Hulk. What if the genius's athletic achievements are as good as his poetic prowess? Poetic prowess? Try this one on, Slippery Gene. Mountain Dew Code Red is red. Ooh. Blue herons are blue. The Hulkster's a wrestler. Genius. What are you? That was good.
Blue heron was much better choice.
Yeah, well, that's why I made the sub.
Yeah, no, yeah, good call.
Perfect.
I thought slide worked really well in there.
Yeah, slide.
Mathematically speaking,
slide.
Yeah, maybe
tripping and the drooling and the chicken tendies.
Yeah. Caught me off guard there. Oh, do I need to? Are we not?
I mean, did I give an outro? Did I say that we were finished? We are basically again, we need to establish repetition and routine for these things. I know we're probably getting to the point in time where we really need to watch this fucking match. So it's that time.
Yeah.
For Ryan's Corner!
There's nothing more that I like than a fresh cut lawn.
Ryan, what do you got for us?
Well, I like to come with my A game every time.
Yes.
I think we know that by episode 5.
Yeah. And here we are in 6.
You saw me at Mad Libs.
Yeah. A+ performance during the Mad Lib. Do you not have anything? If you don't, we'll just move along.
People are actually going to have something if I don't.
Do I? I might.
What do you think of open mics at bars?
What?
Yeah.
Open mics at bars? Like, where you can just do jokes or something?
Maybe not open mics. It's like an open performance. Music. Live music at bars. Like a sit-down, like, kind of bar.
You're talking about live music or open mic?
I said open mic. I did. But like kind of live music at a bar. Like,
but no one can just get up there and sing.
No, it's usually like someone's performing, but it's not like a band playing. Like they're there. Like it's just kind of like open, like acoustic. Like,
well, that's not open. So you're talking about how do I feel about?
I mean, it could be
someone playing guitar and singing
over your dinner.
I don't like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I'm trying to eat, and usually I'm trying to have a conversation, and unless I'm going specifically to like watch them, which I'm not. I don't want to pause my eating to like clap politely and then go back to it.
That's all I want.
I'm a conversationalist. I don't want to like have to pause my conversation to wait for the song to finish so I can get 20 seconds of talk in and then they play again.
Yeah.
So that's my feeling about it.
That's it. You're completely justified.
I have noticed
in my reasoning. Yeah.
Yes.
I respect those people for getting up there. I do, and I like them.
Well, they're getting paid. They're getting booked to do that.
Well...
They may, or at least they're getting a meal. They're getting something out of it. They're not just going up there. They're orchestrating that with the venue. So yes, I am anti that. I find it to be annoying. I don't think it adds. So I will say, actually, I'm trying to think if there's any situation where I like that. In October, so around Oktoberfest season, if you go to like a German bar or something, sometimes they'll have polka bands and shit. That's fun because you can talk over that and be rowdy, and it doesn't feel like you're being rude. You're just being a part of the Oktoberfest thing.
These are more like quiet, like kind of like quaint, like places.
If somebody's got an acoustic guitar out,
exactly.
That's not conducive to having a fun night out.
No, exactly.
Under any circumstance.
And it's always a fucking acoustic guitar. And they're singing country songs. Usually the ones they've been, well, I guess I shouldn't say, no, actually, it's just usually country songs, men and women.
I'm not sure I know where you're going.
But they don't sound like country. It's like, if I didn't know the lyrics as a huge country fan, how would I know? And explain this.
That's true. So wine bars also do it. It's less country music, but wine bars have.
We were at a wine bar in Bothell the other night.
Oh, really?
And it was country music, but it was not country whatsoever. It was like I just knew like the words.
Yeah.
And I've always felt this way. Like I said, I respect them for getting up there and doing something because I don't do anything with my time.
Except for this podcast, which is a great use of time.
Yeah. I don't know. But I just wanted someone to validate me on that one because I am not sure that I'm being like a dick when I say that I don't like that.
Not being a dick, totally valid. That makes a lot of sense. All right, man. I think we're
good. I gotta piss so bad.
You gotta piss?
Yeah. I gotta
go pee, man.
Yeah, all right.
I'll close this sumbitch out. Oh gosh, you look like you're in pain.
You
go pee.
Crazy, yeah.
Go pee. All right. Well, while Ryan is draining his lizard, I will bid you adieu for the moment. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll give you our thoughts on Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage. And I really hope you can hear his lovely string in the background. Thanks, everybody. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. You have beef with me, apparently, now.
I do. I think you misled me.
I did not mislead you. So here...
You highly misled me.
Bullshit. So we do not have the luxury of going back and... Well, we could, but I don't want to spend that time doing that. But for everyone listening, I want you to go back, let's say, 20 minutes or so, just review the bit where I was describing the build-up to the match.
Also review my question.
What question might that be specifically? Just to make sure people know what they're like.
I specifically asked you about the security. That was the big thing. You're like, oh, he brought a bunch of security guards around his wife.
And did she not have a bunch of security?
She did. She totally did.
Accurate.
Yes.
Accurate statement.
Yes, but I asked you at that point, was that because like he was a controlling, and I believe we then reverted back to the point where you're like, yes, like that is part of his character, but also at the same time, that's part of who he was.
Yeah.
So you and then out there, you're like, no, I just said that about like, that's who he was as a person, not his character.
Well, his character was the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
So what difference is that? So she had a bunch of security, but like clearly you saw him pointing at her and like being menacing towards her at the very beginning before you ever. Okay, so just to establish the fact, Ryan fucked up again. He got it wrong. He chose Macho Man Randy Savage would beat Hulk Hogan in the main event WrestleMania 5.
You said he was a beloved wrestler who I knew.
Hold the phone, sir. He's blaming me. He's saying it's my fault for giving him erroneous information, which, hey, review the tape back. Not the case. Go on.
All I'm saying is that my perception of what was going on and who people might have been rooting for at the time, there was no impression that he was beating his wife at the time.
He was not beating his wife
until that match,
threatening her.
He just slapped her out. He
didn't slap her. She had his hand on him. He aggressively moved her hand off of him. And then there was a point, I think the closest to beating her that he came was grabbing her by the chin, which is very menacing, but
fine, whatever.
But he was also like making like finger point gestures, and the commentary, which you were so glowing about, made it very clear that he was being an asshole. And
well, if you listen to the other guy, he said that was just she should get out of the fucking ring.
The bad guy announcer. If you listen to the bad guy announcer, then yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And I had to agree with him the whole time, thinking that everyone in America, no.
I thought when you finally let it settle in that you made a horrible mistake, that you would have come to your senses and be like, you know what? I should have seen the signs. We watched so much shit leading up to this match. And it was all great.
Yeah, but like Hulk Hogan, the impression was like Hulk Hogan was probably sleeping with his wife.
What?
Yes, come on.
Did you get that impression?
He's like carrying her towards like when she's hurt. He's like picking her up.
He's a thoughtful friend. They make a great threesome. You heard it himself.
They do. Okay, fine. Yeah, but obviously he didn't feel he was a part of this threesome. It was just Hulk Hogan and his wife.
So this is going on your win-loss record. I do not accept this excuse of me. I'm trying to do my best every episode to give you the information that I think is relevant to the match.
I knew halfway through that this was not going his way, and I called it right there, and I think I should get at least a half a point.
There is no half a point. It's a point or not a point. You picked against Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania. That's your fault.
And it was I realized it. And I thought it might be a bet, but the way I've been seeing these going,
you're second guessing yourself.
I'm like,
you're in your own head.
Triple guessing myself after that. I can't do it. I don't know if I can like pick anymore. I've lost all my confidence.
If only the Ryan of week 1 was here, I feel like you would have made the right.
Week 2 was that?
No, you lost week 2. You lost.
Are you sure?
It was the Japanese
I thought I was
match.
2-0.
No.
Was I just 1-0? I thought I was 2-0.
Week 1 was Hulk versus Andre. You guessed correct. Week 2 was Ospreay versus Shingo. Great match. Hell of a match, but you picked Shingo.
I must have been like, I was probably really confident off that week 1.
You were. No, and that's why, yes.
So now
you're 2-4.
2-4, ouch. Oh, yes, that's
true. You're 2-4 now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take anything that you're saying personally. I'm going to let you sleep on it. And I just hope that I get a message from you first thing tomorrow morning saying, Eric, I'm sorry. I should have seen the signs.
You're not, but
I hope that I do. And regardless of anything about security or anything like that,
understand that
let me finish.
Okay.
I did make a point, and you can go back and listen to the audio, that the whole build up to this match was you can kind of see Macho Man's point, but he's being an asshole. Like that was the whole premise of the match. Like, there's enough seeds of doubt where you can see, I see where he's coming from, but he's not being reasonable.
Part of this fucking wrestling story is becoming like more and more difficult. It is becoming like, I'm becoming like more like entrenched in it. I'm still getting like less and less. Like it's a hard thing to like dive into really like in a quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to be the Sherpa that leads you through this. But yes, the further you get in the weeds on this topic, the harder it becomes to suss out, what you think will happen.
I feel like you're going to pick an even more difficult match not because maybe even the drama, like I'm having a harder time. Like you said, it's second and third guessing myself. I don't know what I'm going to do if I lose all my confidence.
Well, maybe we can establish a set list of questions that we can kind of establish each time. Who's the bad guy?
I should have known.
I'm glad you're finally coming around. I'm glad it didn't take you overnight.
That was brutal. Yeah. I can't. Yeah.
Well, let's go through the notes. We'll let you go tailed between your legs, 2-4 record. So as far as some of the supplementary stuff that we covered before the match, we watched the No Holds Barred trailer. Any thoughts on the No Holds Barred trailer that we watched? Looked great.
No,
that's fair. Okay, we don't have to. We don't have to talk about it. No. The Donald Trump interview seemed like you were enjoying that.
I did enjoy that. Yeah.
He quite the charismatic. I wonder what he did later in life.
Never change. Always stick to your guns. Be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
great advice.
Yeah.
Both WrestleMania 4 and 5 took place at the Trump Plaza. They worked out a deal with
Did he
Donald
speak
Trump.
in it? I just don't want to hear it. Like any.
So if you have a free moment to do so, we watched the Hulk Hogan interview for this, and he referenced Donald Trump a couple times. The WrestleMania 4 interview, Donald Trump also gets referenced, and it's fucking insane.
Okay.
It's hilarious, especially in retrospect. It's very good. Macho Man's outfit was pretty cool, as mentioned. The Jimi Hendrix's tailor also made those flowing robes, which I'm very, very jealous of.
You said something about it being $6,000 or $7,000, but
years later,
it wasn't that one.
No.
So what is it made out of? It? Why is it $6,000? I don't know.
I'm not sure what it's made out of.
I assume you could just put that together with like little beads on the like.
It's a very intricate robe. I don't know if you could just put it together with beads. You're making it sound like anyone's mom could just sort of like, whatever it is, add just bedazzle. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
You're making it sound like anyone's
bedazzle,
mom.
yeah.
Nah, that was a little bit more intricate than a bedazzle job. The Macho Man robes were fucking
I get
great.
it. I get it.
Very expensive.
I'm just surprised. $7,000.
Again, I don't think he was selling it. I think somebody had come upon one of these Macho Man robes and was imparting it. And I remember seeing it on eBay years ago before he had passed away. And I think to just buy it outright, it was like around $6,000 or $7,000, which.
But it was something like replicated him. Like it wasn't.
No, I think it was a ring worn robe. So it wasn't that.
So that makes sense. Okay. It was a ring worn robe.
Yeah, not that one, but a different one that he like he had a lot of different robes of that similar.
I thought it was just like a robe that was like replicated.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that doesn't make sense. But okay, so
yeah,
okay. Nice robe.
Macho Man robe, very impressive. If I could just wear one around the house, I would.
Me too.
Commentary, arguably the best part of the match.
Best part of any wrestling match I've seen. Really?
Wow, you really?
No, like I mean, I think generally they're not that good.
Okay,
sorry, I don't know. This was excellent. This is exactly what I expect from WWE. Like
you like the banter.
Well, which is like one person would say something, the other one would just like kind of retaliate with something stupid.
Right.
But it was amazing.
Yes.
It like well said, very, very simple, very straight to the point. That was my favorite part of the entire match.
It was very good.
Yeah, it was.
The commentators on the match. So on the good guy commentator, the play-by-play was Gorilla Monsoon, who's a former wrestler. I have his.
He went by Gorilla.
Gorilla, yes. Yeah. If you could imagine, he's a former wrestler who went by Gorilla Monsoon. I have his sticker up on my beer fridge right now. He was really the voice of my childhood when it comes to pro wrestling. I fucking love Gorilla Monsoon. The bad guy commentator, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Loved him too.
Yes.
Yeah, really good.
Famous he's been in a few Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Predator.
I believe that, yeah.
Running Man. So anytime that you get a chance to watch a Jesse the Body movie, always a good time. But yes, their commentary was great. I thought they added a lot to the match.
We're gonna watch another match with them commentating in that kind of style, like where they're.
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will. Let's see. Next, I think this is the first match that we've seen that had blood in it. Not an excessive amount of blood, but enough. I don't know if there's any thoughts that you have about the blood that we saw. I'm not sure if... Do you know how people bleed in wrestling?
I don't know.
Like how the blood is created in wrestling?
That wasn't real blood?
It was real blood.
What do you mean, how is blood created in wrestling?
So, like, let's say that you and I are having a wrestling match, which, like, 10 minutes ago we were on the verge of doing. You were very angry with me.
Yeah.
If you wanted to bleed during a match, do you know how you would facilitate that?
I mean, so you're saying this was facilitated and so
most of it, not always.
I figured it was like an accident because I never see them bleed.
See, in that case, it might have been. I'm not sure, but in most situations, the way that you you start bleeding is you cut yourself with a razor blade
on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a lot of times when you'll
it doesn't even hurt that bad. You just do a little slice on the head, like.
I mean, I don't, depending on how deep you're going, yeah, it's probably not super bad. There's guys that have like literally divots in their forehead from repeated blade jobs. There's one dude named Abdullah the Butcher. Whatever visual you have in your head is probably accurate. He has
Abdullah Butcher.
Abdullah the Butcher.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yes. Don't butcher his name. He has like canyons in his forehead so deep that he could put poker chips into.
I don't like.
In fact, let me.
I don't even.
I don't know when we're getting.
Makes me like a little like.
Let me 1 moment.
Hold on. So do they do this like during the match while they're kind of fighting? Like, is this like a quick move, or is this something like they cut and then like cut back to the match?
So what happens here?
I don't want to see.
It's not. This isn't super graphic. You can just kind of see.
Oh yeah, I don't like it. Oh, that's even worse than
Is that worse than you imagine?
Yeah, no, like one would be better.
Oh, good. So what happens usually is like there'll be some sort of spot in the match where like a guy goes headfirst in the ring post or some shit like that, and then they'll kind of like roll to their stomach. Depending on who it is, there's a couple of different ways that they do this. They'll either store the razor blade in their trunks, or yeah, this is all real.
The wrestlers store it in their trunks.
Yes,
while they're fighting and doing like a razor blade. That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Yes. Okay. From the dick standpoint, it does sound dangerous. So either the referee will have it, which is rare, or they'll store it in their trunks, or you notice how some of them wear wrist tape?
No.
They'll store it in their wrist tape, and like they'll have a little piece of wrist tape that they peel off, and then that's where the razor blade is, and they'll grab it. Or my favorite, I think this is not super common, but some guys will store it in their mouth. Legitimately. Swear to God. Some guys will store it in their mouth.
What regulators oversee the WWE? Like,
I mean,
is there any? Is there like
they have? I mean,
I don't even know what oversees like sports, but I'm curious. Like that seems. Is it the FCC?
Well, I mean, they're not a sport per se, so they're like exempt from a lot of the.
Yeah, but like they're also like on live, like the
like there's the United States Health and Drug Administration.
Yeah, and why? I don't know if they would oversee it.
They would, because it's not a sport. So like if people are in competition with each other, that's different. And you have to regulate that to make sure everybody's safe. If you're doing a performance show,
the Federal Communication Bureau.
I mean, the FCC.
Yeah.
I mean, in what regard? You're talking about from a safety standpoint?
I understand the razor blade thing, and that makes sense, right? You want to cut someone on the head really quick, a referee?
You seem genuinely uncomfortable.
I'm concerned with like it in like their pants, like that. That's like super concerning. Like, but then like you meant so then you want to get like just on their wrists. There's any veins right there to like potentially sever, or their mouth. Like
it just gets increasingly more dangerous.
It's insane. Like and so I get like if I were to be in a wrestling match, I would have no problem with someone like doing a quick slice on my forehead. Not deep, just there's a lot,
a slice.
You cut your forehead, there's gonna be a lot of blood coming out. Yeah. Very easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not in my pants, not in my mouth. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But, okay,
so I'm not sure if Hulk actually did in this case. I was trying to like look a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't catch any obvious he's bleeding right now sort of moments, but the cut itself looked like he may have bladed. I'm not quite sure, but that's for anyone who's unaware of that. That's how that usually happens. Although occasionally accidents do happen and guys just get busted open for real. Got more mileage out of that than I expected, and you look a little queasy. So let's go ahead. Last couple items. We had the punch dispute. So I claimed that Macho Man's punches look great, you were disputing that, which everything Macho Man does looks good.
I don't think any punch in any wrestling match I've seen looks good. I just don't. They all look like they're doing some like weird like hand up wrist thing to like the face, and like the guy's like, oh my God, it really hurts.
We'll keep a tally on this. For me, Macho Man's punches look great.
Did you? I mean, the same punch was landed in that scene where she was like laying in a hospital bed, and
that was a crime of passion.
That's fine, but he did the same punch that he did in the ring. It was the same.
No, the standing punch is different. He kind of has like a little wind up and like a pow. It's like a very laser focused sort of punch. I think it looks great. One of my favorite punches. It's whatever. Usually man of low sophistication.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments of all time, and we already talked about this a little bit off air. One of my favorite moments ever watching wrestling alongside of you is the moment where Elizabeth is gently helping Macho Man to his feet. She's concerned over her man. She's picking him up, trying to help him get back into the ring. And he looks and he swats her hand away. And then I just hear you deadpan, completely void of emotion. Is he going to lose? Having that realization in that moment was so good. Just as good as any other moment of excitement you've had about any match.
I felt like I should have had the whole time, and then to see that,
just knowing like, okay, this guy who's borderline abusive towards his wife, there's no fucking chance.
I didn't know going in that he was abusive to his wife.
Well, he hadn't done anything to her,
right,
to that point. And during the match, I mean, he's just kind of like a dick. He did do the face smush thing, which is, I wouldn't recommend trying that with your respective significant others. And then the entire rest of the match, I remember trying to convince you like, hey man, it's not over. But you were just the most somber that I'd ever seen you for the last like 10 minutes of that. As soon as you saw that, you just knew it was fucking over.
It was an L. It was a big L.
I couldn't tell if you were just mad. Well, you were clearly mad at me. It also seemed like you were mad at yourself. I was trying to pick you up and like convince you that there was still hope, even though I knew that there was none. But I didn't want to see you that dejected and that down. So
yeah, well, it was. I still am.
I can tell you seem a little low key. So with all of that in the rear view, that does put you at tune 4. I am sorry that what percentage is that? It's bad. It's like. I don't remember. Math is...
Yeah, it's not great.
It's not a great percentage. So let's talk rankings. So to kind of close things out here, we do have our match ranking. You can actually see it on our whiteboard. Give a peek here. Where do you think that this match falls in the overall ranking?
Okay. You said during don't let what happened affect your rank. This was not that good. It was not a good match.
You were loving you said at one point in the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
This is the best thing I've ever seen.
The commentators really carried a lot.
Sure, and that's part of it.
Okay, fine. I'll throw that in there.
Yeah.
Aside from that, garbage match that I did not like, and I didn't like the outcome either. I don't like. We talked about Randy Macho Man the whole fucking time, yes, and then you like let him collapse on everything I knew about wrestling. That's
harsh. That's harsh. But try and put your scientist hat on. It's important that we take emotion out of it. We be scientific about it. People rely on us for the science. So looking over our list, we've got Ospreay versus Shingo at 1, Taz versus Bam Bam number 2, Kaufman and Hart versus Lawler 3, Hulk versus Andre 4, Harlem Heat versus Steiners 5.
I'm trying to remember Hulk versus Andre. What was
There was a bear hug, very long bear hug. There was the bit where they pull up the mat. And
okay, all right.
Is that?
I think it's not last.
It's fair.
I
mean, I guess
it could. It's in between like 4 or 5. I'm trying because
you're putting Hulk and Andre above Hulk versus Macho Man. Is that what you're saying?
I'm trying to figure out if it's going to go like above or below.
Okay, that's fair. I think the commentary stood out more on this match.
It did.
Even though, you know what? It was the same commentary team as the Hulk versus Andre.
But this was way better. This was, and why was that? Is it just because like the
more experience working together and like, I mean, I think Jesse the Body was pulling.
I put a number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Hulk and Andre dropped at 5 and 9.
Okay.
That's where I put it. That's right. That's where I put it. Garbage match, but it still goes right there.
Garbage match, but still goes right there.
It was the commentators were good. I didn't think the wrestling was that good in the match.
I mean, it wasn't.
It's not.
You knew that it wasn't going to be.
No, you're right. It was a story that built.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I lost. It goes right there where it goes.
If you would have won, do you think it would have?
It probably would have been a little higher. It probably would have been a little bit higher.
Damn it! We're trying to be scientific about this shit.
You can't always.
You're on the verge of getting bumped from the show. I'm telling you right now. One more loss and you're fucking out of here. I'm calling it right now.
That's going to be a lot of pressure next time.
Yeah, you need it. Your mind's going every direction, every which way but loose, so to speak. Anything else? I know I've kept you for a very long time here today.
I'm here. Just 3 hours.
I'm glad you got here early. Anything else that you want to mention? I do have an outro for the show now. I know we've been talking about how we need like an ending, and we've got that now. But before we do that, what?
No, I don't have anything. I was
emotionally drained.
I am. I'm upset. I don't know how I'm going to go home. I don't know I don't know how to handle all of this. I came in with my 1-0 record, very confident, and I was hoping to let that carry me to 6-0.
Yeah,
didn't. 2-4.
No, you can listen to episode 1 on YouTube. You can listen to that and hear how confident Ryan was and how.
But did you hear how confident I was episode 2? That was the thing. I think I brought in a lot of confidence on the episode, just because of how episode 1 went.
Yeah, you thought you were a wrestling expert.
I did.
All right, fair enough. Well, with all that said, we'll hope that Ryan gets a chance to rest up. We've got a modern match. Maybe that'll be helpful for next time. That'll switch things up a little bit, and it won't have quite as much backstory. So it'll be, a little bit of a quicker thing.
Just to really disrupt the backs.
That's right. Clean our palate, so to speak. So as far as our ending here today, we have a new segment. What in the world? We've got a new segment. This segment, we're going to be ending the session. We're going to be ending our recording here today with the segment of Erik's Wisdom Tree. That's right. It's where I impart a piece of wisdom. Maybe I'll flesh it out. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just give it out and put it out there in the universe and not let people interpret it however they want. Are you ready to sit at the base of Erik's Wisdom Tree, Brian? The man of 1,000 compliments. All right. Sounds like he is. My piece of wisdom for this week: never trust a woman with a foot tattoo. And with that said, I'll talk to you all later. Thanks for downloading. Bye, everybody.
You just say it and then close it.
Maybe I'll redo. And with that said, thanks, everybody. Bye from Ryan Murphy. Bye from Erik Donaldson. Have a good one. We'll see you next episode.
What kind of foot tattoo are you talking about?
Doesn't matter, any of them. If it's below the ankle, don't trust that woman. Just a rule of thumb. Don't. Just keep walking. Below the joint, that's the foot. If it's on the joint, it's again cause for concern, but it's not the foot. That's my piece of advice. That's my learning tree.
You are giving no room for and I'm not debating. I think that's fine. That's
But dispute it all you want, but my wisdom. I don't know if we're still going to use this or not, but goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening. Noun, red thing.
Mountain Dew Code Red.